Hey Grande Alive, this is your weekly Newsish Roundup brought to you by Ronde Hospital, Anything to Digital, Northwest Furniture and Mattress, EONI, Valley Realty, Country Financial, and Schwab Tire Center. A little princess is coming to the Elgin Opera House. And when I say a little princess, I'm not referring to the size of the lead actress, though she is in fact very short and cute as a panda button. The show is called The Little Princess, and it's a good old-fashioned family drama based on the book designed to give people a feel-good experience out at the Elgin Opera House. The story of The Little Princess is about Sarah, a 10-year-old girl who moves to London with her rich military father. But when Big Daddy Warbucks, when Big Daddy Crew is shipped off to the wars, the little girl is left in a religious school with a headmistress who is, well, let's just say she's the kind of person that makes people hate Christianity.
I am a crazy, evil headmistress who makes an 11-year-old child her nemesis and tries to steal her money. It's been pretty fun and a little challenging at times, like I'm not used to playing an abusive person, not used to being an abusive person. And so, yes. and so it's like some of the scenes are like a little harder to get into that like headspace. And so the evil partner of the evil Miss Minchin, Mr. Barrow, tells her that Sarah is going to be very wealthy, and so they scheme to take her money, and Miss Minchin makes her be a kitchen wench and puts her into servitude because Miss Minchin has spent a lot of money on this young girl, and so she is making her like work it off, and then they're going to ship her off to Russia to be adopted by a guy in Russia, and so then Barrow and Miss Minchin take all the money.
But that's not the end of the play.
Even when she's a kitchen wench, she makes friends with the other scullery maid and is still hopes that her dad will come back to her. And when her dad does come back to her, she has a relief that because she knew that her father would come back to her. But then when she doesn't know that he had an amnesia, so she's very torn when he doesn't remember her.
The play ends on a high note, the actor said, and in the process, we, like they did, learn a lot about father-daughter relationships.
I've got a little girl at home. She's 11, and very similar to the age of Hannah Kate, who plays Sarah. And so a lot of the songs that are sung, a lot of the things she says, I've teared up, not on purpose, but it's just been, I've imagined my own daughter saying that to me. And it's been very easy to get into this role, for the most part. Other times I'm like, oh, hits me right in the gut if I was ever see my daughter in something like that.
My dad was in the military. He just recently retired, and he had been on 7 deployments for 6 months each, and so I have been used to my dad leaving. And so this was a part where when I have my dad leave, I'm used to that, and when I see him come back, I'm used to that part. Run up and hug and have all the crying and parts like that.
The play shows 2 weekends, the 8th, 9th, and the 15th, 16th of December. So if you, like me, sometimes want to feel a little bit like a princess, don't buy a tiara, dress drag, and walk down the streets in Grande. You'll get shot, I promise. Instead, head out to the Elgin Opera House this weekend or the next and get your princess feels vicariously at The Little Princess. More information and tickets can be found on the Elgin Opera House website. This title story was brought to you by... Geez, how many Democrats are running against Greg Walden this year? 5 or 6, I think, and it seems like every single one of them has been in the Grande Alive studio to talk to me about their platform. Well, I guess they haven't all talked to me, but this week I got to sit down with another one, Tim White, a recently retired to Bend ex-CFO who's got an inkling to take a shot at politics.
I'm a student of history. Over the years, I enjoy reading about political figures. Never had a lot of interest in politics, but political figures I do find interesting. So I've read a lot of the biographies, autobiographies of anybody from Washington to Adams, Jefferson, Madison, the Roosevelts, up through Eisenhower, Truman, Nixon. And the one thing that I think these people always shared in common they had different philosophies about how we do things and stuff.
Sure.
But I always found the leaders of the country put the country first. These people had a shared philosophy of what can I do to make the United States better? What can I do to make the people of the United States better? And as I watched the agenda unfold over the last year with Mr. Trump, I said, I can't sit back and not do something.
Now, like Colleen McLeod Skinner several weeks ago, Tim White is big on infrastructure. What he really wants to see in Eastern Oregon are more highways and interstates around here so that more big businesses ventures will come into our area to manufacture. Kind of like the Boardman and Hermiston area. But roads mean taxes, you might be thinking, and taxes mean less money for me. And how exactly am I going to afford more taxes when I make $10 an hour and have 3 kids to feed? Well, don't worry, you won't have to pay for the infrastructure, Tim said. The feds will. And that's the foundation of Tim's vision. Higher federal taxes on those with bigger tax brackets so that you don't have to fork over more of your hard-earned income to increase the infrastructure.
You cannot ask a district where people are struggling on $19,000, $20,000 a year to ante up more. It needs to come from the federal government. We have enough money. We just need to prioritize the spending of that money to where it's going to build a future of the country.
Overall, the conversation was, well, not much of a conversation. It was really mostly him talking and me listening. I didn't do much yakking on this particular Coffee with Will. I just got to shut up and listen, which is nice sometimes, to be honest. The rest of this interview can be viewed on the Grande Alive's website or Facebook page. For more information about Tim and his bid for District 2, visit his website. This title story was brought to you by Country Financial, now located on Adams Avenue in downtown La Grande. And here's your weekly EOU sports and Around the Mountain in 90 seconds.
I'm Ian Dexter.
And I'm Joel Padilla.
And welcome to another episode of Around the Mountain.
In 90 seconds.
Let's go.
Big weekend for women's basketball as they went on the road in CCC play and defeated number 12 Southern Oregon 81-68, and receiving votes Oregon Tech 78-55. All-American Maya Ayu Diaz was named not only the Conference Player of the Week, but guess what? She was also the NEIA Player of the Week as she had a triple-double against SOU and then dropped 31 points against Tech.
Dang.
The Mounties visit NCAA Division III Linfield on Saturday in McMinnville.
Jeez, what a weekend for Maya.
Seriously.
The men's basketball team took its first loss of the season at number 13 Southern Oregon this weekend, 84-71. Blake O'Donnell led the team with 18 points in the loss. Then number 24 Oregon Tech defeated EOU 72-60, despite sophomore Max McCullough finishing the night with 26 points, his 4th time putting up 20 points this season. EOU returns back to the court on December 15th, where the men's and women's team host their conference home opener against Northwest Christian.
And guess what is on that same day?
December 15th. I don't remember.
You have to have the Force.
Star Wars
Yes.
night. That's right. We'll be hosting our Star Wars night as the new Star Wars movie will be coming out that night as well. So be sure to be there. We'll have some special prizes and giveaways for any fans.
The men's wrestling team had a busy weekend on the mat at the Battle of the Rockies in the Heritage Inn Open in Great Falls, Montana. The team would suffer 3 losses in duels to number 1 ranked McKendree, Minot State, and Northwest Community College. Drake Randall and Eric Fan won 2 of the 3 matches. At the Argo Heritage Inn Open over on the men's side, the team would end up placing 6 out of 23, with junior transfer Drake Randall finishing 2nd at the podium.
A good weekend for Drake.
Exactly. And guess who also had another one was Leah Olson, as she would go on to take 2nd by helping her team take 4th at the Open. Both teams each would have 4 wrestlers who would place in the top 6. This Saturday, Warner Pacific will travel down to La Grande against the Mountie men and women at Quinn Coliseum at 4 p.m. Afterwards, the men's team will host Clackamas Community College at 6 p.m., also at Quinn.
The volleyball team finished its season at Nationals last week. After going 2-1 in pool play, the Mountaineers advanced to the elimination rounds where they faced number 1 ranked Lindsay Wilson. The Mounties gave the Blue Raiders a good fight, becoming just the 3rd team to take a set off of Lindsay Wilson this year. Unfortunately, EOU fell in 4 sets. Blue Raiders ended up winning the national title, going 35-0. Additionally, seniors Madison Garley and Amanda Miller were each named NAIA All-Americans as they cap off their incredible careers.
It's going to be tough to replace those women, isn't it?
But while we're talking about All-Americans, Taylor Boyer of the EOU women's soccer team received honorable mention All-American plaudits, while Yasmin Mukerdam was named a co-side academic All-American with a 3.99 GPA.
Smart one out there, isn't he?
Yeah, but who gave him A-?
I would not be happy.
That's a wrap for us here at EOU Athletics. Join us next week for another 92nd edition of Around the Mountain.
For more information, visit us at eousports.com.
And that's your weekly Newsish Roundup. This roundup was brought to you by Grande Hospital, Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Anything 2 Digital, EONI, Valley Realty, Country Financial, and Schwab Tire Center. Please like and share the video and tune into LaGrandeLive.tv for more local content. Out.